How are you doing everyone, and welcome back to the Learner Driver Classroom. My name is Anthony from ADM Driving School, and today we're going to be talking about turning left emerging from a T-junction. Okay, so when we emerge from a T-junction, it's a little bit different from the last left turn that we spoke about. This time we need to do a little bit more observation right and left. Right, so let's get straight into it. So again, once you hear the direction, we know from the last two videos that we covered, it's always mirror, signal, position, slow, and look. Alright, that's the basics. That's what we're always going for, okay? So, once you hear left, you know it's going to be inside mirror, left mirror. Once we've done that, that's when we signal to the left, or indicate left. Once you've done that, again, that's when we bring our position in a little bit, and again we drive straight up to the turn. Very important to keep it straight here. What I see so many people doing is they try to come in at an angle here. It's really hard to get good position here without hitting the path if you're coming in at an angle there. So once you're in, it's straight up to the turn. Very important that. And then once you're in position, that's when we slow at the brake, into second, off the clutch, and L for look. Now we are off the clutch here, but we'd still be covering the brake. I'll explain that in a second. And L for look. Okay, so at a T-junction, what I tell people to do here, just before the curb bends here, that's when I tell people to have your glance to the right. Oops, marker's wasting. So have your glance to the right from here. And when the curb bends, that's when I tell people, right, so you've done your look to the right, the curb is bending here, look at the curb, get your position around here. We want to be positioned around here, and then we can look right and left. Alright, that's the best way to do that. What I see so many people doing is they get to here, they're in position, they're into second, they're off the clutch, L for look. They look to the right, but when the curb bends, they continue to look right, and they're trying to steer around the path here, looking out this direction. Really hard to do that. So what I say to people is, before the curb bends, do your glance, there's the path, look, steer, you're in, and once you're in, then we're looking right and left. Alright, so that's the position and the observation. Now, when we're talking about the pedals here, it's a little bit different. So, in the scenario here, we're coming up, just imagine it's a nice open junction, and we can see right and left here. We can see there's no cars coming on approach. So we know there's no cars coming. We're okay to continue on here in second, slowly in second. So we're in position, we slow into second, off the clutch, we're still on the brake. Do your quick glance to the right. We know there's nothing coming because we can see, and you still look at the curb, position. Once you're in, another right and left. I know it's clear already, and then continue on. That's grand. Okay? A lot of the times, especially in the housing estates, the road isn't as straightforward as that. There'll always be houses here, cars parked here, that could be trees, houses, cars. So we call that a closed junction. It's when you're driving up here, you're saying there's a lot of stuff going on, I won't be able to see. So that's when we do things a little bit differently, especially with the speed, alright? So this is really hard to explain here, but it's kind of easy enough when we're in the car. So the same rules apply. So we mirror, signal, position. Once you're in position, slow with the brake. As you're on the brake, you come into second, off the clutch. I'm still on the brake here. L for look. I do a quick look. I know there's a lot going on here. That's when I clutch in, look here, position the car, and once I'm in, I roll it into fourth gear. I'm still on the clutch and the brake here. I'm rolling slowly. Once I'm in, then I look right and left. If it's clear, that's when I can continue on. Alright, so I'll say that once more. So Once we're in position, slow into second, off the clutch. We're still on the brake. I can't see here, so that's when I clutch in. I position my car around here. Once I'm in, I roll it into first as I'm looking right and left. If it's clear and I can keep, and I know it's clear, I can keep going then in first, off the clutch, continue on. So now we're coming up here, it's a closed junction again, but there's even a lot more going on this time. So this time we come up, we get to the top of the road, we've rolled in, so we've clutched in, we've positioned, we've rolled into first, we look right and left and we can't see because it is two hazards here, two parked cars. In that case, sometimes it's okay just to stop, because if we don't know, we don't go. Stop, look right and left, still can't see, that's when we might decide to peep and creep out a little bit. So I'm saying, right, I can't see, I'm going to move forward a little bit more, stop again, and then get a better look. And then you can see a lot more past here. And then if it's clear, you can keep going. Alright, it's just very important that, especially when we can't see, we don't want to continue on out here in second. It's too fast, and if a car comes, it's a really abrupt stop. It's like on the brake, you're hoping nothing comes, then if you do see something, you have to slam down on the clutch and the brake, and it's real abrupt stop. First of all, you don't want that in your test, and you don't want to be driving like that because it's so dangerous. If something comes and you see them late, it's bad. So that's emerging from a closed junction. Now sometimes when we come to a T-junction like this, we can see different types of road markings, alright? So we can see here, these are straightforward. So when we see a continuous white line here that goes like this, that's always a stop line, alright? Now sometimes you can be lucky and there'll be a big sign here and they'll also say stop on the ground. They're pretty self-explanatory. Just treat that like a red traffic light and literally just stop. Go into first, look right and left. If it's clear, off you go. It has to be a complete stop, alright? If you don't stop at a stop line, you will get a grade 3. Even if it's not your test, if you don't stop at a stop sign and a guard sees you, it's 3 penalty points. Stop at the stop line. Very important. Alright. The next one, the next road marking you could see would be, it's similar to this, but it's a broken white line. That's just a yield. So we'll also see the upside down, sometimes you see the upside down triangle, and sometimes you see the sign. That just means we do it like this way we were saying earlier on. You look right and left. If it's clear and you can see, keep going. If it's a big open junction, keep going in second. If there's no road markings, that means it's a yield. So it's the same as what we were talking about. So yeah, that's turning left, emerging from a T-junction. That's the basis of it. Again, there's no one rule for these things because every road is a different width. Every bend here, some of them are really sharp and a big steer would be too much. Sometimes it's only a little small steer just to get you here. There can be parked cars here. There's so many different scenarios. That's just a basic version, alright? So again, if you have any questions about that, feel free to pop them into the comment section and I will answer all the questions. And also, if you like the video, why don't like and subscribe to the channel. Also, watch it with your sponsor because again, watch it a few times because if they know what they're looking out for, they might be able to guide you a little bit better. So yeah, thanks very much for watching and best of luck in the test.